In this episode, I will review the list of leadership principles published by Amazon. Let's begin. My name is John, and you listen to the TechLead Pro podcast. It is week 35 of 2025. You're very welcome. On the Amazon recruitment website, they have published their core leadership principles. While most of them are good, some of the leadership principles on the Amazon website are very questionable, in my opinion. You can find the list on the website that I will link to in the show notes for this episode. Before we begin, I accept that Amazon is a very successful company, so what do I know about criticizing them, right? Well, I don't think anybody is above criticism, including them, and while it may seem counterintuitive, a company can be very successful despite poor leadership principles. Good old-fashioned luck or timing and market positioning can play a major role, for example. But to get back to their list, most of them I would completely agree with, but there are a few in there that are very questionable. So let's take a look at a few of those questionable ones together, just for fun, starting with the following. Quote, customer obsession. Leaders start with the customer and work backwards. They work vigorously to earn and keep customer trust. Although leaders pay attention to competitors, they obsess over customers. End quote. Honestly speaking, as an Amazon customer myself, and I'm sure many of you are the same, I believe this is more of a virtue signal than an actual mantra they live by. I feel that their customer service on the retail side has declined, based upon my own experiences of missing or damaged parcels. Here is the unpopular truth about customers, however. When you are creating new markets like Amazon have done in the past, you are also creating new customers, and these customers often don't know what they want. Why? Because you are creating new demand. Before Amazon came along, nobody wanted to buy books and DVDs online because nobody else was doing it before. Amazon created, in large part, online retail in the 1990s. I'm old enough, guys, to remember it happening live. In this instance, if Amazon, quote, started with the customer, they would have never built the service that had no existing demand. Nobody knew they wanted to buy books or DVDs online in the 1990s. In later years, they went on to do the same thing for cloud computing when everyone at the time was co-locating their own server hardware in rented rack spaces. The main takeaway for me, customers are often dumb and have no idea what they need. Lead them, don't follow them. I told you it was going to be an unpopular take. Now let's look at another principle. According to them, good leaders are, quote, are right a lot. Leaders are right a lot. They have strong judgment and good instincts. They seek diverse perspectives and work to disconfirm their beliefs, end quote. Oh boy, this really does read as confirmation bias waiting to happen. Very few people you meet in your life will, quote, work to disconfirm their beliefs, end quote. Instead, they will work to confirm their bias. Secondly, if you set up your team as, I am the leader, therefore I am right until you prove me wrong, your team will waste a lot of time and energy proving you wrong. It's a weird default position to take. Good judgment comes from making a lot of mistakes until you learn what works well and what doesn't. Basically, it requires experience. Being right should compound with the leader, based on inputs from the team and the working environment, but it should not come from the leader exclusively. That's just ego. Rightness, in quotes, does not exist in a void. And now on to my least favorite principle from their list. Quote, think big. Thinking small is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Leaders create and communicate a bold direction that inspires results. They think differently and look around corners for ways to serve customers, end quote. Now, at this age, guys, I'm honestly cringing quite hard. Given bold directions can lead to bold failures. Being bold isn't inherently good. Sometimes, caution makes more sense when the path forward is unclear, as smaller failures are less costly. Secondly, there is a lot of meaningless waffle in here, like think big and think differently. In comparison to what? Aren't those terms relative? And lastly, in terms of the principles that I find questionable, we have, quote, frugality. Accomplish more with less. Constraints breed resourcefulness, self-sufficiency, and invention. There are no extra points for growing headcount, budget size, or fixed expense. End quote. So basically what we have here is the Spartan mindset. Your suffering will make you stronger. In general, I agree that constraints are good and no budget should be limitless. But there is a problem. What if you go too far with this and actually starve innovation due to underinvestment? I'm not saying this is true for Amazon, who are clearly a very innovative company, but I have doubts that they are practicing what they are preaching here. In general, though, it's a good list of leadership principles, as it contains some real gems for any new leader to review and consider. But as Amazon state themselves in their own list, leaders should be calling out stuff that they disagree with. Quote, leaders are obligated to respectively challenge decisions when they disagree, even when doing so is uncomfortable or exhausting. Leaders have conviction and are tenacious. End quote. Therefore, I'm using this excellent principle to criticize some of the other principles on their list. I do hope they are doing the same internally. Take care, guys. Talk to you next time.